There are two things that, as a budding luthier, far too many years ago to actually enumerate, filled me with intense anxiety and literally kept me up at night. One of those was neck break angles and trying to figure out the magical formulae by which to be accurate and get everything right. And oftentimes I wasn't and didn't. The other was binding. Now, routers scare me, have always scared me. When I started training, it was in Baroque instruments, viola da gambas and things, and short of a bandsaw and a planar thicknesser, machinery just wasn't a part of my life, and I had zero experience with it. A big old router thudding away at a piece of wood filled me with trepidation. I'm using a lot of big words today. Binding with a router was something I tried to avoid. And I spent months trying to figure out how to do it quickly and easily by hand using knives or shoulder planes and any number of different things. Perfect scrapers. Oh my gosh. I've forgotten the name of a vintage tool. I've got one back there. And one back there. Beading tool. It's called a beading tool, and you scrape stuff away gently and slowly, and yeah, that's it. A beading tool. I suck. None of these things work because, frankly, a router, a good router, with a bearing cutter, with an offset bearing, just does the job so much better. The final issue is, however, finding a router cutter with a variety of different bearings. And I have in the past ended up scavenging bearings off other random router cutters. I have ended up literally putting masking tape around the edge of a guitar to just push it just a little bit bigger so that I get a channel the right size. Well, today is a bit of a game changer for me. Triton have come out with a new small router. We have never had a trim router from them, and guitar builders don't necessarily need giant routers for a lot of what we do. But that's only the part of it. There is a game changer here for me. I don't need bearing cutters at all, and it's epic. Check it out. On top of all the cool things I'm about to show you about this router, the title, the name, the code, TMNRTR. The second I saw that, I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Router. It has to be. I mean, it's orange, not green, but that's all right. But before we get to the binding, let's have a look at this. So, standard trim router with a very cool plunge base. And this has almost every single feature that I love about the bigger Triton brothers and sisters. But here we go. So I've got just a standard 1/4 inch cutter in it. This takes 1/4 inch and 8mm collets. In there, locked off. Standard plunge base. Perfect, no worries. We've got the fine adjustment that you get on the Triton, on the bigger Triton beauties. But, and this is something else that's very, very cool, you can put this in a table and you've got the fine adjustment up and down with this, which is, yeah, not something I've ever seen on a router this small and nimble. This has got to be one of my favorite locking mechanisms on a router so far. That chunk of rubber, very, very, very nice and positive. Depth stop, of course, that's all absolutely standard and good. And there is also a fence that goes into this, as well as dust extraction. And what this means is that this small router can do pretty much anything that I would do with a larger router, from routing truss rods to pickup cavities to using it as a trim router and getting rid of, I don't know, 6mm tops and bits and pieces. I was talking last night about routing through a thin copper top on a guitar, and this would be the tool that I would use. In fact, I'm just about to start my Great Guitar Build-Off entry, and I think I'm going to be using this more than anything else in that build. The fun stuff. The fun stuff. I'm really properly excited about this. So the router comes out. The only thing that we've got that is, I would say, a step back, but also fundamentally impossible on this type of router, is that you've got a more traditional way of changing the cutter. On the larger router cutters, when you lock the spindle off, that also shuts off the on-off button. It puts it away behind a perspex cover so that you physically can't turn the router on when you're changing the bit, which is very, very cool. And you also do the entire thing off the bottom of the base rather than having to fiddle around inside something. But you know, for everything else that this gives me, I'm happy to go back to what I used to use in the past. Now, here's the fun bit. I've lost the plunge base. Where did I put the plunge base? Like, actually, no, seriously. Where's the plunge base? What have I done? I was playing with it like 5 minutes ago. Ha ha! There we go. No comment. Okay, so here we go. Plunge base. Make sure you've got that lined up with the hole so that works perfectly. And be aware of the depth of your router cutter as well. Put that through the hole. There we go. Locked. Sorted. Variable speed control as well, which is fantastic, and just a standard on-off switch. Here is where I start truly having fun. We do have height adjustment to a certain extent, so you can set the depth of your binding. By the way, this is not currently plugged in. I might look like a bit of a fool, but, well, wait, I am. But it's not plugged in any case. Okay, now, this little thing. This little thing blows my mind, my tiny little mind. Okay, we've got adjustment sideways. We've got a lovely little bearing on the end, and we've also got height adjustment on the side. And as you can see, the bearing runs along there, allowing my standard 1/4 inch double flute straight cutter to act, well, to cut whatever size channel I want. Do you see now? You see now. You see now. I think I might actually be in danger of getting too excited about this. All right, come on then. Let's tidy up a little bit and grab a bit of wood. That's too deep. That's about right. But now that's too high. That's locked off. That's locked off. Woohoo! Power up. What if you're making an acoustic with a double step bit of binding? No worries whatsoever. Make this deeper. Yep. And adjust the height of the bit. No mess, no fuss. Absolutely incredible. I've got little pots full of random half-destroyed bearings that I no longer need. There are horrendously expensive router cutters specifically designed around going into a router and having multiple different bearings, and they're always half a millimeter off. This solves that problem. It is incredible. I have a cup of coffee waiting outside my door, so I'm going to say goodbye. Click like, subscribe. Please check out this new router from Crimson. From Crimson? Ha! I'm in routers now. From Triton Power Tools. And let me know what you would use it for. Guitar building, I assume. But, you know. You do you. Speak to you soon. Goodbye. Coffee!
Sorry, I threw you off. I'm sorry.
No! It's my fault for being easily thrown off. Wait, I'm still filming. Help! Look at that. I'm down to 2 coffees a day, and one is at 11 o'clock, and my fantastically wonderful wife has hit it bang on the noggin. So, yes. In the comments, say thank you to my wife as well for keeping the channel going by keeping me fed with coffee. Routers. There are some tools that I would not build guitars without, and a good router is one of those things. You can use a hand drill, you could use a brace and bit and a chisel to carve out a pickup cavity or a control cavity and all of that jazz. Much better. Catch you on the flip side. That outro turned into something completely different. I'm going to stop recording now. Bye.